What are we looking at as far as penalties that roofers could face if they are flying illegally?
Well, and the FAA really isn't your primary worry. It should be a worry, absolutely, 100%. But the way it works with the FAA is they're not a punitive agency. They're an education and safety agency. That's their calling. That's what they've been tasked with doing by Congress. So what would happen is if you get caught doing it, you'll get what we call a three strike rule, I think is a good way to put it in my training with the FAA safety team, which I am a volunteer for. It's basically a three strike rule. And the rule is can be broken, which I'll explain in a minute. But the first thing you do is, if somebody turns you in, then they'll call you and say, hey, these are the rules you're supposed to follow. Please follow them. And then you have strike one in your little record. The second one would be if you get turned in again or whatever. You know what? We've already talked to you once. So now what we need you to do is you go here, here, and here, or someplace, usually a FSDO, Flight Standards District Office. We're going to do a little training, a little remedial training. And if that doesn't work, the third strike is here's a time that you need to come down to FSDO, bring your drone and bring your checkbook because they figure three strikes, you're out. However, one of the things they like to say during training is it's sort of like driving down the highway with a broken taillight. Cop pulls you over because your brake light's out. Okay. Happens sometimes. Don't know it's out, no big deal. If you're very apologetic, I didn't know, I'm sorry, definitely take care of it. You're going to probably get off with a warning or maybe a fix-it ticket. But if you just lay into the cop, don't you have anything to do? What's wrong? Are they out of donuts at the grocery store? I mean, if you go down that route, that police officer is going to find everything wrong with your car, probably run your license incorrectly a couple, three times on purpose. You're wasting more of your time. So if you do get a call from the FAA, definitely you want to reach out to them and answer back to them. The bigger issue, if you want to go there now, is insurance. Every roofer carries insurance, or they should. I'm assuming they do. If they're in business, they certainly do. If they work for the insurance companies, they certainly do. And there are people inside insurance companies whose sole job is to figure out how to deny claims. And if you're flying a drone illegally and an issue happens, guess who's not going to pay your insurance? Or guess whose insurance is not going to pay on your claim? And so that you're opening up yourself to liability. If you're a subcontractor for a roofing company, then you're opening up your company to liability. Not only will that be an issue, but if you, let's say, worst case scenario, you hit a tree, you come down and you're doing this $1 million home and it comes down and lands right on top of the hood of their Ferrari, their antique Ferrari, right? Let's talk worst case scenario. You're buying a Ferrari. If you're at least at least the hood for it. And I don't know about you. I've never checked prices on the hood of a Ferrari, but I'm thinking it's probably a little more than a couple $100.
That is actually really interesting. I never even thought about that portion of it because that's been the one big thing when I talk to roofing companies is, well, can you show me examples of where big fines have been issued? And there aren't a lot of
No, there
industry
aren't a lot.
specific issues,
Mm-mm,
but
mm-mm.
that actually opens up a whole different can of worms of yes,
Right.
there's not public fines available and things like that. However, those insurance denials, that makes a ton of sense. And
Huge.
as a roofer, you should be extremely aware of any sort of insurance denial issues. So that shouldn't
Uh-huh.
even be
Uh-huh.
that much of a stretch of the imagination. So that's
No, it's
actually
not.
really, really interesting. I actually love that example. And I have a really good feeling I'll be using that quite often when I do
As you
have these
should. As you
conversations. Yeah,
should.
that makes a lot of
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
So, okay, that does make a lot of sense.